Well, sorry for the hold-up, Miguel. Turbulent news at Barça regarding the captain Van Ander. Ter Stegen, tell us your opinion, will you? Legally speaking, how do you see the issue? We've read your posts on Twitter, but I think you should tell us here in person so people can understand a bit better. How do you analyze this issue, this Ter Stegen case, which is so delicate?
This is a tug of war from the player who clearly doesn't want to leave the club. The club wants him to leave. He wants to force them not to use his contract because he wants to stay at Barcelona. And he uses all the legal tools he has, which is not providing the medical data so that the League Commission can evaluate them and grant that exception. Will Football Club Barcelona sign Juan Garcia? I understand Barcelona fans may be upset, but the law is harsh, but it's the law. Medical data is sacred, you know? It's something that's very well protected. Your medical history currently can't be shared by your primary care doctor or an emergency doctor with anyone else. Revealing secrets would be a serious crime. Therefore, that disciplinary file they've opened against him is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to have any consequences. Because obviously, he has the right not to provide his medical data. I think to reassure the fans that they're not going to need it. Barcelona has 2 days to register the players. One is the signings at a slow pace. Okay, that's an option. And even if they weren't one-on-one, which I think they are, even if they didn't sell, they can use that slow motion route. And the other one is what I think is going to happen. That soon, this week or at the beginning of next week, the auditor is going to give the green light to the very important person seat operation and everything will be solved. Meanwhile, the very important person seat operation has been validated since January. That's why I call this the one-to-one rule. To me, it seems irrelevant whether the auditor includes it or not in the profit and loss accounts. For fair play purposes, for accounting purposes, of course, it's relevant if an auditor doesn't include it, but the transaction itself, it's a contractual transaction and 58 million euros have already been paid. The transaction is completed and validated.
It is.
I mean, if there were a contract termination, okay, no, but there is a valid transaction. It was validated by the January league, both verbally, in voce, and by the league itself. If Barcelona is told they've broken the one-to-one rule, it doesn't count without an official resolution. To reassure you, while this may hurt Barcelona fans, I believe it will just be an anecdote and there won't be issues registering the players.
Perfect. Miguel, over here. People are asking in the chat. Ter Stegen could sue Barça if the club opens a disciplinary file against him, as some colleagues in Barcelona have mentioned. And kind of leaves the goalkeeper out of the squad in some way. I mean, once he's recovered and all that, could he sue the club in this case?
Yes, it could be called what's known as workplace harassment, which has already happened at some club in France. I think there are already precedents, right? If they force him with a disciplinary F, if they harass him at work, then it would be workplace harassment, and he could sue for workplace harassment. Barcelona, of course.
It's a shame, and we're very sorry. Ter Stegen is a Barça legend and the current captain of the first team. Hopefully, the best outcome would be for all parties to sit down, reach an understanding, and come to an agreement. In the end, neither Ter Stegen's career should be tarnished, nor should the club have reached this point. So, to these terms with the workers, because after all, they are workers who have their rights, and I understand that he has a valid contract. It's truly sad news on the morning of Barca's return from their Asian tour. It's very sad that we have this news today, and well, Miguel, we'll see what happens. Victor Navarro from Cadena Cope reported a few minutes ago. Also that Barça thinks that even so, or that Barça thinks that it will... Ter Stegen will reconsider. An understanding exists about a legal basis for being able to submit the medical report to La Liga. You think that's not so easy, right?
It's not that simple, as you need to delve into the specific. You don't just have to say he needs 4 months to recover. You have to say what happened during the surgery. The MRIs that were done, the X-rays that were taken. In the final conclusion, the female doctor who operated on her has all the information, which is in Perez's possession, not the club's. The club can create a report from its perspective, as it will be based on prior operations. What they're going to do now will have data, but the important data, the League Commission, if you don't give them X-rays, MRIs, conclusive reports, of course, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to say, no, this Just because you tell me it doesn't mean, or because you want to enter or not, you have to give me real data. Since Ter Stegen has the medical data and won't authorize the doctor who operated on him to share it with the club, they can't do anything about it. Will they escalate it? Will the league commission say that it's insufficient? Now, if the league commission, without those reports, wants to give Barcelona the option, does the non-aggression pact between Laporta and Teba allow for the match to be played in Miami? And all that, well, hey, it could.
B. No.
I'm telling you, no, you understand?
But anyway.
We'll have to see. But legally, without the operation reports, they can't take any action against the league commission.
Miguel, and I'll let you go now so I don't take up more of your time. Do you want to give your opinion, your personal opinion about the Ter Stegen issue? What do you think about this situation?
Well, my personal opinion is that Ter Stegen is asserting his rights, so he doesn't have to leave a club. And I think that football has very little memory. This man has given a lot to Barcelona. I know it's a situation, but you have to understand him. He sees himself at an age, he sees himself injured, he sees himself frustrated. He wants to play, but can't due to his back pain. At his age, they want to retire, release, loan, or transfer him. He responds, if you want to get rid of me, you must pay out my entire contract. Otherwise, well, look, I'm going to put all the judicial and legal barriers available so that I don't make it easy for Joao Garcia to sign. Now he realizes there are 3 goalkeepers, including himself, and he must consider the other perspective. Hey, what if he were a player who went through Barcelona without pain or glory? But having Barcelona rubbed in your face and that Casillas will leave for Madrid, that's what it is. The same thing, they're 2 legends of the game. You have to have a little more restraint than other players, a little more patience, and use empathy, which is putting yourself in his shoes, right? Hey, at my age, everything I've given to Barcelona has been well compensated by the club. Well, that's where I stand. That's my personal opinion.
No, not the professional one. It's not the professional one. So I
would try to talk to him through dialogue. And in the end, all parties have to do their part. Does a contract deal mean Barcelona must pay the player and get approval from the other party for him to leave? There isn't one. It is clear that the coach plays a significant role in this situation. Coach has to clearly tell the player, I don't count on you.
I think he has said that.
Even if you recover, I don't count on you. The president, as the executive, says that only the 2 of them are present. We're forced to get along because the coach doesn't give you any chance, and that's where you are.
Of course. Well, then, Miguel, the topic I think is very sensitive. The thing is, it's very easy to talk, and each of us has our own opinions. It's a very sensitive topic, and you must be extremely careful with what you say. Miguel, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I hope you're having a great summer. And, well, that's it. The league is about to start, so we're getting going. We're already at full speed. A big hug. Take care, Miguel. Thank you.
See you later.